Hi everyone. Today's Wednesday, 15th of November 2023 in the Gregorian calendar and all of that. She's but right now it's afternoon. It's afternoon time right now. It's late afternoon. Don't know what time it is. It feels like it's about 4, but it's probably 3 o'clock. I was a bit under the weather today, so I've just been at home, resting, just under the weather today. I had to take a mental health day off uni today. But okay, so some people have requested that they they feel like my podcast should be a video because they find it hard concentrating and they feel like they would like to actually see me on the video, which I don't really understand. So I was just like, okay, since I'm getting a request that people want to see me on the video, and this is a podcast, but also I had this burning thing about, like, I normally I have to think things through before I make a decision on it. So I've been on Star now, so this whole video is about me talking about like my experience using Star now and using Mandy in the past and whether or not I liked it. So two reasons I used Mandy before was for voiceovers, and I have been on an animation before, like voiceover at one point, but I don't know whether how far they went with that because I heard later on they were that production was on pause. I'm not too sure about that one. But on Mandy and everything, it was mainly like looking for cast for production when I was in uni, when I was in my first degree, did my first degree. Then in media arts. Currently my second degree is in fashion marketing and business management. Not really enjoying the other side of it, but I'm enjoying the other side of it, which I'm probably gonna talk about in my next video. But um I have a selfie stick that I could use, also like a tripod stick. Don't know if you guys can see it, but it's just right here, this thingy. But basically the flashlight broke recently. I'm not sure, maybe someone must have made it drop or something, but it's not really, it's not really giving. That's my cactus over there, and then my spider plant. It's just right over there. Don't know if you see it. But yeah, so what was I saying? Um, I don't think Star Now is the best website to use because I've been on Star Now in the past. Yeah, I had, a couple gigs before that. I think I registered for Star Now. I think I was like 16 or 15. I registered years ago when I was still quite young. Then, um, didn't really have as much. I did have opportunities there and there, but I didn't really have as much, you know, opportunities that would allow me to basically express myself the way I needed to. And then fast forward then into the future, while in uni and also I was like finishing uni, I did have opportunity of doing like a promo video for Game of Thrones. I had like opportunity to join Buttercup's. I know he's a celebrity, but I kept forgetting his name. So, like, it was like a feature. I think it was like a feature casting call, but it was like a workshop. So I was selected on Star Now at one point for something that had nothing to do with my profile for starters, because my profile was like showing a lot of stuff. Then it was like theater, voiceovers, all types of things like production, post production. So at that time, I really felt really, really down a little because I'm paying monthly and yearly subscriptions. Yearly. Imagine paying for yearly subscriptions and then realizing something. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Didn't you say that you will pay me for this? So they didn't pay me, even though I've signed. They didn't pay me, and even like one of the characters they actually brought forward in the, when I say characters, like in the promo video, and I was so gutted, and then I had another couple bad experiences with Star. And I was like, there was more awful experiences than positive experience, knowing fully well that I've come here with my portfolio of past experiences that I've had from years, from like when I was younger, years, even when people didn't really know me, much of what I did. Like, even people didn't even know I did a lot of things outside of school. And but no, like I felt really sort of like gutted because you're wasting my time, you're wasting my money. I'm signing talent release forms and then nothing is going forward to that. Anyways, don't want to talk about that. And then there are other websites that are also as bad. I've got on other casting calls with then my mentor, like it was like my assistant mentor, slash assistant producer. And when we went to a few at that time, it was just so awful. Like Shala was just like, "Oh my goodness, like you have such talent, this and that." I'm like, "Thanks," but I don't really know what you mean. Like I don't see what you're talking about. And I'm quite young, and like, and right now you've met me through television, not even through documentary or film or radio. And but he knew that I had some radio skills, but he was trying to say he was trying to train me for radio, even though I was certified now, had certifications and other stuff. So I was just so like happy, but at the same time I was quite down at some points, and at one point I became quite isolated and depressed. I became very, very isolated and depressed, but um and then at one point I was losing, like I didn't have friends, like losing friends. A few times my Instagram account had been hacked from even sixth form college time. I think I had about 1 point something K followers or 2 point, I don't even know. But basically I was just that chick that was always busy, also like trying to also support my family at one point, like with job, to see what I could do, help my family, sending money to my dad all the way to Nigeria and then helping my mom here, paying rent, paying for other stuff and other, like there's a lot of headache and stress. Then in my personal life, like, things I like to do, enjoy doing, whatever, I couldn't even afford doing those days. So I had to do things that I could afford doing. So no, gigs wasn't gigging. And Star Nine was making things even worse for me. At one point I paid and I'm applying for stuff and whatever the case is. And then later on the people who put the advert will say, "Oh, you will not like have experience." I'm like, "Can you not see my profile says I do have experience?" And then the same things was happening like even with my jobs. I had such rude comments from certain recruitment managers and even like managers, and even I had bad experiences. And they were like, "Oh, we love your experience, like you best suited for this job, but we've decided to go on with another candidate. We're still impressed with your experience and CV. If you would like to, reapply another time, that's fine." And I'm thinking, your company only recruits once every other year. What do you mean reapply? Like if you said I was best suited for this role, but you chose someone else, that's discredit on you. That's a whole disrespect on another level. And then I had experiences where like I've gone to job interviews, and all these companies were catch 22 companies, and they were looking legit, very catch 22. Don't like it, don't mess with me, don't play with my mind, don't play with my mental health. Is literally mind over matter, because at this point these companies, they don't matter to me. They're not on my mind, and also they don't matter. But then I'm applying, I'm going for the interviews. I actually went to a company, Tutu's that was actually called Catch 22. And believe it or not, my spirit was telling me, "This is Catch 22. You need to go. This is a Catch 22." I know it says Catch 22, but they really are Catch 22. Like they were Catch 22 times scam. Like it was awful because like I was told I'll start the next day or I'll start a week in the next week. In all these companies, I had an awful experience where I was working a nurse as an admin, and there was a lot of like misleading assumptions and lies. With one of my other colleagues, we shared office, so she was like one of their managers and I was their main admin. So basically, even though I wasn't their main admin, it's like almost as if I'm like second admin in charge or third admin in charge, but I was actually doing the most. I was doing security admin, plus other stuff I shouldn't have been doing, like going into the kitchen and checking whether the things in the washing machine. I was in the most. Basically, I didn't apply as admin as I had applied as a kitchen before because I hadn't actually seen an advert go out for admin for them yet, even though they said they had one out, even though I hadn't seen one. And so no, this lady, like, they checked on CCTV that she was lying against me. Like, I hate when people lie against me when they do stuff directly to me. And when they do stuff indirectly to me and I found out and they lie, that's just the worst. And they had to check CCTV for this lady. What she did was just so horrible. And, you know, even the day I was even leaving the company, she tried to beg me to stay. She was literally telling me, oh, you should stay, blah 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 blah. I'm like, no, because, like, why would I want to stay when you put me through all this? And on top of that, I have to travel like 2 hours plus to get to work, and literally being handed the key of the nursery to actually open up the nursery. And around this time, when I'm being told and handed the key, is when you've started with this rubbish. And in all due respect, I don't really care how old this person, I don't care how old you are. If you're disrespecting me, if you're lying against me, I don't care. I don't give a toss. I don't give a toss. You know, I don't care if you're European, non-European. You can be even just landed on Earth. You're an alien and you're disrespectful. Even alien, people are just so alienated sometimes. And I feel like, you know, even when people, even at work, you shouldn't tolerate any harassment or bullying, because it's not the first time someone's done that to me in work and I have to report it. They have to check CCTV. Even like saying something that I did that I didn't do, they check she did it. My goodness, cameras were everywhere more than she thought. Okay? And that's for the safety of the children. Not knowing is also for the safety of us who work there, because people have their personal issues outside of work. You don't really know what's going on. So thank God I'm here to even explain this. I don't want to go into more details and depths of what happened, but it was very, 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 very serious. Like, very, very. Although I remember the other workplace, I had this opportunity to work at the Leonardo Road Hotel. The hotels are quite expensive for each night. I don't think most people that I know would be able to afford it unless they have like a good steady income. And, you know, I had like a family member who told me, like, say don't do it because the pay is high. And then the other sibling was like, don't do this pay. And then I'm just thinking, what's wrong with these people? And I had like an extended family member who's saying the same thing, like, don't, this job, like, you're better than this job. I'm thinking to myself, like, this is an entry level job. How can I be better than this job when it's an entry level and it's really hard to get into this job, and to even have an interview and you're trying to deter me from doing it? Is there something wrong with your head? I don't care how old you are. Like I said, you could be in your 50s, 60s, 40s, 20s. You can even be 10 years old. And you tell me that I shouldn't accept that job opportunity. I was just looking at you thinking, are you mad? Are you crazy? And it's just like, you go for that interview. I don't care like how old you are, but it's just like a lot of issues with people, you know, within your home or outside your home, who are like telling you not to do it, or you should find someone else, or whatever the case. Like, okay, you don't own me. You want to be me, but you can never be me. You want to be me, but you can never. Okay? So these are the things, like, I don't like when people tell me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. Like, a couple times, my YouTube channel one time had been removed, and there's another time it was forced to be removed by a family member. This past YouTube channel I had, because they claimed they didn't like what I was doing. That as soon as that happened, a few years later, not even a few years, it's been like under a year, they went to create their own to do other things that I personally didn't like what they were doing, but I didn't even say it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, like, you don't know what you're saying, or you're probably drunk, or something's wrong with you. So I don't like all this. I don't like when people are snaky. I don't like when people are just they're bickery, the lies, if people lie against you, or people like try to set you up. And then, no, I can't do it. I can't with people. I'm not saying I prefer animals more than I prefer humans, but I think it's getting to that, you know? It's getting to that. Had this really awful experience where I went to meet up with someone based on a masseuse, okay, being a masseuse. and I'm there literally trying to get my certificate for it, and training. It's like a lot of training to be done because I have other things I'm doing. And I said to them, currently you happen to be one of my fourth customers in the space of literally 1 year, and that's not good. And that's because like we're coming out, this pandemic, and people were like scared, and you've reached out to me. It's not like I reached out to you, rare. But even if I was to reach out to you, and you're part of my portfolio in that sense. You're not my portfolio, but part of it. So agreed to meet this person. This person's like, I don't know whether the fraudster is coming, but they weren't really trying to go through with it now. They were trying to exchange instead of them to be one of their siblings, even though they were the one that reached out to me and they were going to be ready to pay me for this, like being a masseuse. But then they tried to change their siblings last minute with them, and leave me in the middle of, I don't know where I was. Like I knew where I was in terms of how I'm gonna get back, but it was like I was like initially said I can literally walk where it is. I could take the train or bus and then walk. They decided out of their goodwill of their heart, even though I found that very shady, even though I had agreed to find my own way there. And I was making my own way there. They decided to say, like, I'm stuck in traffic, not knowing they were watching me in the car the whole time. And then when they were in the car, they had a phone call saying, and I was on the phone as well, had a phone call saying that they need to be somewhere now. So they dropped me on the 1 minute of getting the, it's like on the 1 minute of getting the call, and literally left. Then called me afterwards telling me, am I in the same position they left me? And I was like, no. I'm doing, you don't need to know the position I'm standing in. You don't need to know where I am, because the meeting point where you literally drove me is like 2 minute drive, like 2 more minute drive before we get where we're going. And you dropped me 1 minute. So were you expecting me to walk the whole journey? Not knowing that they were scared of all the plans that we're gonna do, whatever. Because when we had a conversation, like, I'm not that kind of chick that you want to be scammy. Like, that's not what this is about, you know? So I was really upset because not only are you wasting my time to get my money to be a masseuse, and this is in the evening. It's not even, it's like probably like 5 or 6. It's not even the kind of thing where I'm thinking they'll be back in the next 1 hour. So they were telling me wait for the next 1 hour, if not tomorrow. And I was like, tomorrow? Like what do you mean if not tomorrow? I might even have church. What's this person been talking about? Or I might not even be around. I might not even be in town tomorrow. What you even, and then they're like, okay, no. If not, I'll call my brothers. One of my brothers, needs a massage and he's back in it. And his shoulders, and I know you're still doing your training and you need someone. I'm like, I'm not saying I need someone. I'm saying you're part of my portfolio because these are the people I've mentioned that I've actually massage, and they've actually paid me beforehand and after, like deposit and then afterwards. So I just felt so hurt and so outraged and so disgusted because the apologies were a lot, and one of the things they were afraid of was the area I'm from. They're afraid of Hackney, and it doesn't make sense because initially they were like upset, saying they thought this massage was going on in my studio or where I am based, and I'm just like, I told you that it would be in Stratford, and you said why not in Hackney? And then when you then said, okay, which area of Hackney am I in? And I told them, they were like, oh no, let's change it. And then on the day I'm going to meet them at the designated location of where the studio where we'll be using, they basically said, fine, but while I was on the phone to them, a couple people on the streets had said hello to me who I have not seen. They were youngers, like young, like 2-3 years younger than me, who I haven't seen in years. I'm talking about secondary school, primary school, and they had stopped me and at the interval of like 10 minutes, like more than 4 people, no, more than probably like 5 people, like from where I was to where I was going. And then that triggered him in his head. And then he started saying, who do you know from that area? I mentioned the names. And like, it could be countless of people from primary school to, even though I went to 2 primary schools, but different areas. Hackney Walthamstow. But I was like, no, this is just so strange. Like, this is not the first person have actually acted like this, based on even me trying at one point trying to do some like short promo video for their project. Even like I'd been in someone's music video before, and they were meant to do it in this area of Hackney, and then they said, oh no, I'm doing it somewhere else. And like, Hackney's like this, Hackney's like that, and then laughing and all of that stuff. And I'm just like, hold on a second. Stop rubbing Hackney in a bad way. Even the way you're saying Hackney is like a stigma. It's like a stigma. It's like when someone says, um, it's like when someone says something in such a provocative way. It's like Hackney. You know Hackney is. I'm not gonna give you. I'm like, okay, don't come, don't. So I'm trying to literally compromise for people who reach out to me. You reach out to me for my service in one or two areas, and you're the one that's now scared to come to the location that I've requested. No, 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 and just no. It's like people that is like, you don't want to make money. You don't want to make money. Okay. Now, in the case where you would need to pay me, and I've requested the location, you still don't want to come, and it's you asking for the service. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, just a moment of silence for these people. Just a moment of silence, and just think about this. Just think about everything I've said, and I ask you a question after. If you were me in my situation, what would you do? What would you do? What would you do? Because I don't think these people are serious clients or potential business partners. People keep begging me, oh, I want to do this with you. I want to da da da. And someone did some stupid thing like this. Similarly, went all the way to this other one in Croydon. This ain't masseuse norm. This ain't masseuse work. No, no, no. This one is because they wanted me to partner with them on some business stuff they have, like, and giving me their plans and goals for 2024, but from December onwards. So cool. I'm not going to be foolish, and I'm going to be meeting this person, but I'm thinking, like, I don't know what's going on, because on the same day there was a lot of red flags. Yeah. Like, a lot of stuff was going on that I knew was gonna happen. So then I basically, because now they're looking for a friend. Cool. They're not looking for business partnership no more, even though they were begging that. But no, they were saying that. Not even begging, they were literally begging. So I feel like there's two things going on. Like, people can be so confused on what they want and what they expect. They can be fearful. He said initially, Hackney, like, Hackney. Like, it was very sinister, the laugh he had given. Now, I said meet in the middle. Don't want to meet in the middle. I said cool, because this is business partnership, and I will never go this far for any man, any geezer, unless I'm actually dating you. We serious relationship. This ain't dating. This is business partnership. So this is like a secondary reason why I would go that far, because apparently they couldn't, due to some reasons of needing to get up early in the morning, blah blah blah, whatever. And the next day I didn't have to get up that early in the morning. So, and also because I knew I'll be able to get what's it, a train, a taxi back home. So this is the thing I'd understand. The meeting point had changed only because he had now invited friends. He said a friend, and then tried to say how apparently the house has lighting issues or something like that. So he has to be at home with his friend to fix that before he can leave his house, which is a bit confusing, because so the location's changed. Then on top of that, the information given has changed. That he was getting afraid because another thing, someone in Croydon said hello on the street. No, for real. And then a few minutes later, I had been on the phone again. Another person had said hello to me and walked past. So he was now asking me, who am I with? Or who are these people? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I said, I don't know that person like that. But I knew them probably in the past through one of my siblings or through work or something, because at one point I used to work near Croydon but not in Croydon. So I was literally just not understanding what this person was going in their head, because not only that, were you 3 hours late to wait for me? Like I say 3 hours in the sense that I've traveled, I've come to wait. While I'm waiting, I'm doing my own thing. in my notebook. I'm doing my own things in my notebook, you know, on my phone, on the laptop, whatever. I'm doing something. Then I've decided to make a couple phone calls, you know what I mean, to, you know, deliberate on certain things that I'm doing. Yeah. So like calls I was meant to have had maybe that day, but they couldn't pick up. So I'm doing it now in the evening. I'm literally, you know, this this cafe place, like a Costa Prep, something like that. Now, I know they're about to close. I need to find somewhere else. I'm thinking I need to go into McDonald's, working somewhere local. I've gone inside, I've left. Now, the time they had said they were going to call me to meet me had changed. And not only that, they've now invited their friends and said it. And I said, I didn't even know that. I said, I keep hearing voice in the background. I kept saying it was the television. He kept saying that he's the shopkeeper. The next minute, he's saying he's the neighbor. And I said, you have a club more than one or two people around with you. Are they going to be part of this meeting? He said no. He said they will not be part of this meeting and they will be leaving very soon. A couple hours later, he's like, are you not coming? Giving me a location. Then the location changed after like 10 minutes, send me another location, then send me another location. And I was just like, mm-mm. I don't care how old you are. That's another thing, because you're much older than me. I don't think you understand what you are doing to my mind, what you think you're doing to me, because you're just thinking, I will just accept your location. You'll change the location last minute, which doesn't make any sense. I know really that you're having bad, awful communication with me. How can we have a business partnership if you want me to help you out, you want to also help me out, but you don't even have good communication with me? Nah, that's not gonna run. Nah, 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 nah. If something is not correct up there, something. So I didn't really like stuff like that, and I let him know. I just had to find my way after I finished what I was doing. Is like it was like I made a progress on my side on the things I needed to do, progression on my side. Yeah, so I was really angry actually. I was shouting on the phone. I said a certain things and I said like, I know what you're about. I know like this is not good. You know, you can't bring so much people. Like he said, I want to entertain them. You know, at the meeting, I want to entertain. I'm like, this has nothing to do with entertaining. This is last minute. This is last minute, and already you're more than 2 hours late. Late. Like, so I do think it's not a good look. It's not really a good look. So I would never, ever, 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 ever be entertaining such people with such character and behavior. I cannot tolerate it. I cannot. I cannot tolerate things like that moving forward, because he's not the only one who has had some very bad timekeeping and, you know, communication issues that other people have. Like, I've had this bad experience with a female who didn't even was meant to be meeting me, and she said that she couldn't even make it looking after her kids. But then I seen on a social media platform, like for example, which at that time I had logged into an old account of mine because I don't use it anymore. And I had gone into that social media account and seen she's posting where she was on that same day, that she said she, and I was just like, sorry, I don't understand. No, you're supposed to be older than me. You know better. You know better to be also lying to me. Like if a man's lying to me, I'm pissed off. If a female is lying to me, I'm pissed off. I don't care whether or not you're the same gender as me, whether or not you're a mother or not, you're not a mother. That has nothing to do with you. The fact that you blatantly lied and you also made me waste my time to travel, knowing that I wasn't feeling too good. I wasn't feeling too well. And I remember telling her, because with her I knew from secondary school, you know what I mean, and she's older than me. Whereas with this other man, I don't know you from school. You reached out to me from from a vlog that I was doing on a platform. Trying to remember what platform, but I was a vlog. I was on a platform. So he really he pissed me off, and she also pissed me off. It's the same amount of pissing off they both did, because it's just, if you're not going to be honest with me, you're not going to be honest person towards me, around me, whatever the case is, then do not ever ever, 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 ever think in this lifetime you would even be my friend or even be business partnership. I don't care if you're gonna cry about it or you're gonna say I asked you, then this and that. No, no, no. Because your character already showed me a lot about you. Your character already showed me so much things about it. The same goes to anyone who's saying, like, I'm thinking I wouldn't date her. And he's like, 1 minute he's calling me baby girl, the next minute he's calling me babes, the next minute he's calling me my babes, the next minute I'm not hearing from you. Don't call me all of these things and there's no communication, no consistency. It's called toxicity. So is the gum, the chewing gum in my mouth. The toxicity is too much. And at this point, I'm thinking, do you think I'm really a baby? Because I ain't a baby. I'm a grown woman. Because I know what you're doing. And I know what you're doing is basically just trying to kill the time by communicating with me. And communicating with me means you're killing your time. And whatever time you're killing is dead. You have a boring life. I don't know whether you're mediocre, you're gonna die mediocre because you keep lying to me and telling me, oh, like, baby girl, babe, or this. And there's another geezer that really pissed me off, asking for a huge amount of money, say take out a loan. The other person said the same thing, asked me for a huge amount of money, take out a loan. In a space of two to 3 months. I've had, and it's like an interview of 2 to 3 months. Guys will come and guys will go and say, all they talk about is give me money and give me this and give me that. I'm not your bank. If you want to take out a loan, go to the bank. Go to the bank. Unugo, hey, these people will not make anybody go crazy. No. They are the one that are, there's something wrong up there. And it's just, who gave you the audacity to ask a female for such huge amounts of money? Must be stupid. Me, I am a giver. I am someone I would give to people and gift people and help people. But don't think I'm foolish. Don't think I'm stupid. So this is the thing that I don't like. Disrespectful people. Whether or not you want to work with me or I work with you, do not be disrespectful. Do not be dishonest. The podcast I'm currently doing, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the podcast because it's me sharing some of my reality, some of my truths in my podcast of love, sex, romance, and relationships. But next podcast is going to be on the topic on relationship and the topic specifically on friendship in this topic. The recent one I've done is on love, sex, and romance. Love, sex, and romance. So those are the ones I've done most recently. The next one I'm doing is going to be on relationship. And yeah, relationship, but specifically focusing on friendship at this point, or friends. Because relationship is quite broad. So like, you know, this series, this episode is gonna be on friends. I don't know whether or not I'm gonna add any other things to this video, because initially I'm talking about Star Now and all Star Now and how Star Now is, you know, not the best. I don't recommend. I don't think it's the best. I don't necessarily feel like they're the worst either. If you try it, go try it. Try Star Now out. If you don't want to try it, fine. But I would say you never know if you don't like something until you actually go and try Star Now if you want, because I'm giving a review that it didn't work very well for me. And you know, it's these people that they come with this disrespect. It's like even if my acumen, you haven't even seen my acumen, even if it's small, big, large, whatever, it's just still very disrespectful for anyone to make you sign something and not want to pay you. You're telling them, arguing with them, you're like, okay, I'm going to take this forward, and then years and you come back to them and then they don't do anything about it. It's just not the Star Now, it's the people that they put on the Star Now. So excuse me, it's not the whole Star Now that is really awful, but I feel like it's the people, the types of people they allow to come on are just very aggravating I think so. Because they did well in terms of selecting certain people for workshops, you know. Don't know how they ran around their selection, random process, whatever. And at one point I was picked, and I did meet really nice people and a couple. I keep saying Buttercup. I hope that's his name, but no, is it Asha Buttercup, whatever, or something like that? But no, I'm trying to remember because this is a while ago. Like, we're in 2023 now. I'm talking about things from like a while ago, maybe 2018, 2019. It's a long time. But the current things with being literally being in a position where I'm having to find work and find something to do, whatever the case is, even if it's part time. Like, I'm always open to like finding some other freelance work to do, like if it's hairdressing, other time it's fashion, journalism, and supporting someone in their fashion ventures, and supporting another person with them launching their new magazine. And a lot of work is going to be done from about December time, from December all the way to about April. There's a lot going to be done. um just in terms of if anyone has any questions on, you know, the fashion marketing information that I was talking about, or fashion journalism, you know, or you're looking to be mentored, um, you know, I don't know, it can be any age, no, any age under 27, any age under 27. So you can be literally from about 12 to 27, then you can reach out to me. And everything. Um, and if you're under 16 also, you need to ask your parents and guardians and everything. So I can bring in some more of the um DN and the other forms that need to be signed and whatever the case is, so that you understand that this is just strictly only professional mentoring and professional support. And no, I have done one or two like workshops at a school before. Um, when I was in London, I just only came back to London sometime this year, and yeah, they really loved what I did in that school. I really feel like it was a really nice academy. Um, I got in through actually working there before. Um, in the kitchen, and then I then mentioned to one of the other staff that had asked me what I was doing, and explained things I had done outside of the school, and they put me through in like that. But I did like two sessions with groups of females, and it was basically year eights and year nines, and I really enjoyed it. I did. um I've done something similar that before, but it was one-to-one TA in London, but it wasn't just mainstream, it was like special needs, but it wasn't specifically mentoring in the topics that I've just mentioned, like in terms of fashion marketing, and some other things like that. Fashion like textiles, you know, creating things like that. I personally know that many people don't create time to be able to help and teach other people because they have other things that are on their plate, and you know, it can be very, very like stressful. But I know how to manage my stress, and I know that um when things in terms of things like this are very important, having an, you know, your time with the parent to communicate this information, and this information can be communicated and clearly clarified with the information and the references of the people that I've also helped and mentored, and their parents and the school, whatever the case is, like whatever would be required, I can bring that forward. um so there's no problem with that. i I for one know, you know, and I'm certain and sure about, in terms of the progression of many young people within Hackney, and even within the Tower Hamlets, and even within the Newham, and even within the Waltham Forest, and even within Havering, and even within Haringey, even within Barking and Dagenham, and all the other boroughs. And I for sure know that hopefully things will get better for some boroughs. Um, I know that when we look at the whole scenario, things that are going on right now, many people are not understanding what they want to do, and they need just that little push and a little guiding. And I don't mind being that little push, a little guide, even though I, for one, run a podcast show that it's, talking about things is like on is 18 plus, and some 16-year-olds are permitted to obviously listen to it, their parents' guidance, and and the parents' agreement that they can. But when it comes slightly to mentoring, I'm very head on, level headed. I'm very, this is what we are doing. I'm pragmatic. I'm a Capricorn, and I'm ready to be that mentor. I'm just very, going to push and support, because I, at one point, needed that kind of push and support in an area, um, and wasn't getting it at all. I wasn't getting it at all. But when I started getting certain mentoring in specific areas, which was helping me to realize, oh no, they need help. The people who are also young, and they would need a lot of help, and no one will be there to help them. And they will be looking at people who are older as if, they don't really care, we're just going to be suffering, and no one's going to support in that area of my dreams or my talents or my gifts or interests. And I'm just thinking, no, there are people who will be able to support you and push you and encourage you so you can keep going. But not just only that, but people who are able to actually show you the practical, and very hands-on, the practical things that you ought to do, you should do, and this is the result that will come out of it, and you will be happier, and your family will be happier, and you'll be very happy with yourself. So just gonna round this up. If anyone's interested, you can contact me. Contact me an email, Viv's email 00@gmail.com. I will need to put this under the editing, because sometimes people say they find it hard to hear what I'm saying, even when I'm not chewing gum. So, or maybe they just don't understand my accent. But I will put it, and I also put it in the description box as well below, and you will respond back. You will reply, and also when you thought about it, anyone else that would be interested, just contact them, share the video, just be caring. Sharing is caring. Share the video, and you can let them know. It'd be nice. It'd be a nice thing you've done this year. If you've not done anything nice, it'd be really nice. But I'm gonna let you all go. I'm speaking as if this is live, because I recently did a live podcast by accident. No, on purpose, because my actual accidental offline podcast I was trying to do offline. I was editing at the same time while recording it. Had literally just came off itself, so then I had to do a live, and it wasn't a recent episode that I did on the podcast. So that's why. And also, I also do live on other platforms. So, this is why I'm just like speaking like you all are live, but you are not live. And I also used to do a lot of Periscope, Vimeo, Periscope, and some other places, like other platforms. But the most recent platform I went on, I did live. It was Ego, and it was Scout. But I'm not going on those apps to do no lives anytime soon, just because I like YouTube. I have to say it like that. So no, gonna let you guys go now. Take care now.